Hey folks, Mark here at RC Aviation and Crawling. Quick video about my FPV setup I thought I'd show on the mall for anybody who's interested. Alright, so let's start off with what were my goals for this FPV setup? Two. I wanted the camera angle that I wanted, which is way in the back. I found the camera angle that I like best. And I was just watching, my camera angle is based on a number of things, including just today I was watching more videos, like I watch frequently, of full-scale bush pilots doing STOL takeoffs and landings, and a lot of them use the same angle I'm using, which is the camera is either here, as it is on my plane. That's center screen, there's a camera. The camera is either there, as it is on my plane, or in a similar location, which gives them a view very, very similar to mine, which is something along the lines of this type of a thing. So that's where I got my angle, and I really like it for various reasons that I won't waste your time explaining. Okay, so that's so the FPV setup. I want it to be the angle that I want, and I want it to be what am I trying to say? I want it to be discrete. So on the discrete side, I did some things. Now, of course, normally you're only going to see the airplane on the ground like this. You know, or you're going to see it up in the air. But even a close-up like this, it's pretty discreet. Now, the way I made it discreet was the wiring here. I try to hide the wiring whenever I can. So again, there's the camera, right there. And the wiring I painted white to blend with the plane, because the fuse and the horizontal stabilizer here is white. And so when the airplane is in the air, and even to an extent when it's on the ground, that white wiring blends in somewhat and is somewhat not noticeable against the fuse of the plane. That's the idea on that, as in this view here, not visible, not that you'd notice, right? And then back here now, and here, you know, you got a good clean look on everything, and in the video there's a good clean look, but when you come around the corner, so my two goals are the angle that I want for what I think is the best angle for my videos, in-flight videos, onboard videos, and the other goal was to have it be a real clean install of the FPV system, so it was very discreet. So we'll come around here. Now on this side, you can see more of the system. You can see white right here. Now again, I painted everything white to blend in with the plane. So again, you're not going to really notice that too much, you know. It's discreet. It's not invisible, but it's discreet, you know. So down here we have our antenna. And this is a polarized. I'm going to lift this up here a little bit. In fact, we'll just put her on her nose very gently. Very gently put her on her nose. Like that. Okay, so down here we've got our antenna. It's polarized. A polarized antenna, very important. Because a polarized antenna, and basically here, not basically, here, painted white underneath that is our video and audio transmitter. And then this is the polarized antenna for that. Now, the reason I'm using a polarized antenna is that it sends a spiraling signal out from the transmitter through the antenna out from the plane in such a way, and this is I saw a video about this. The polarized antenna basically it works in such a way that it sends out the video and audio signal in pretty much all directions, away from the plane, so that you don't have to worry about blocking your transmission and reception when you've got the plane in between the antenna and the transmitter on the ground. So that's why it's that shape, and that's why I use a polarized antenna. So there's the camera. It's removable. It's Velcro down there. It's removable. And then there's our wire running down to here. I've got secured here. Now, because I've got twice as much battery weight in my battery compartment as anybody else would, and I've got it to counterbalance the FPV system on here, because of that, I'm real nose heavy. Have been real nose heavy. So previously I was getting anyway. So and I had my batteries. I got two batteries in the battery compartment instead of one, and I had the batteries moved back to get the somewhat FCG I need for my STOL flying. Right. Well, that wasn't the best idea. So what I did is I went ahead and moved the batteries. So I did, instead of using the batteries which are in the front, to move them so they'd be towards the back, so I'd get slightly more tail weight. Instead of doing that, I just put some extra tail weight right on the tail. And the idea is that at normal speeds, this won't be noticed. At very low speed, this will help the tail maybe want to drop at low speed, very low speed, just prior to touchdown and during touchdown and rollout, right? So instead of adding tail weight for a better high alpha flying situation by moving the batteries in the front back, this is much more efficient, and I think it'll be more effective. We'll see tomorrow. So okay, and then so we've looked at the camera, the video and audio transmitter, which is under here, and then we've got the connections and the wiring and the antenna. And the wiring runs right up to where you see here. It runs up under the fuse, and then it goes to here, and then I'll show you what we've got going on there. All right, so we'll put the airplane down. I love the small. I love them all. Okay, so now on the other side of the plane here, this here lead comes out from the video transmitter, right? Okay, and actually, excuse me, let me do this correctly. It goes like this. It goes like that. Okay, so that goes like that. So when I'm going to hook up the video system, getting ready to fly, I open up my battery compartment here, and there you can see my double 2200s. I've got a Venomfly 2200 30C 11.1 volt here, and I have a Spectrum Smart 11.1 30C 2200 here. Now, why do I have two 2200s? Well, this Venom is for the aircraft, for the airplane's flight system, to power that. The Smart battery powers nothing but the FPV system. Why do I need such a big, powerful battery, 11.1 volt? Well, the operating voltage for my 600 milliwatt FPV transmitter, the standard voltage is 11 volts. This is only an 11.1 volt, right? So ideally I would need more than 11.1 volt for optimum performance, so that after I've been using the FPV system, and the battery's been used, it'll go down to maybe 11.1 volts, and then you stop flying. Well, here I'm already starting off with only 0.1 volt over the minimum, not the minimum, over the standard voltage. Standard voltage is 11, this is 11.1, so I'm only at standard voltage, and as I fly, and the FPV system is drawing power off of this independent battery. What am I trying to say? As that's happening, I'm very quickly below the standard 11 volts, right? This is 11.1, and after not very much use, obviously, of this, with my FPV system running off of it, it's very quickly before I go below 11 volts. And the longer I go below 11 volts, then eventually you get to where you're going to risk losing your signal. You're going to get signal deterioration real bad. So I have to run a battery this big because it's only just at acceptable power level for the system, and the system draws power off of this quite quickly. And so that's in order to do the standard 4-minute flight. Sometimes I go into 5 minutes. I have to have this big 2200 30C in order to not get too far below the standard 11 volts. Now, the minimum voltage, input voltage for the FPV system is 7 volts. The minimum is 7 volts, but you don't want that. You're not going to get maximum performance. And the maximum is 20 volts. Well, you probably get maximum performance that way. So I'm in the middle, going with the whatever I just said, I can't remember. Oh, going with the 11 volts, okay? And again, my flights are only 4 to 5 minutes. So at that rate, even though it's sucking a lot of power, even though the FPV system is sucking a lot of power, I'm not going too far below the standard voltage, which means I'm in pretty good shape to get good quality video all the way through my flights, as long as I don't go over 5 minutes, basically. And as long as I don't get between the airplane and the ground station and other things like that. So there you go. So that's why I'm so darn nose heavy with my airplane. I got twice as much battery weight as anybody else. So that's why I'm so nose heavy, which I'm having to take extra measures to counter, right? Because this makes my nose twice as heavy, right? So twice is more likely. I don't know if it's twice more likely, but a lot more likely to nose over because I got twice the normal weight in the nose, right? It's weighting down that nose, and that nose says, I've got two batteries in here, and I want to come down and hit the ground. So that's my setup, and that is why I'm so nose heavy. And I just flew today and explained what I've done to address all that stuff. So that's what I'm doing. And it's not easy to fit all this stuff in here, but it does fit in here really good. I did have to shave. See, I shaved my battery hatch so that 2 batteries and all the connections fit in there. But when I connect it up, this goes in here like this. I'm not going to actually do it because I have to tuck everything away. But that goes like that, and then that ends up just, this will go in here like that. I can't do it now because stuff's in the way. But the wire just comes out like that. Just comes out like that. It's very discreet, especially in the air. You can't see anything. So that is my system. Okay, that's it. I guess I would just thought I'd show that. The entire FPV system, let's see, the FPV system that we're looking at here is was $28 and still is $28 on Amazon. It does not include the polarized antenna. That's $15. Yeah, so go on Amazon if you want to and look for this. I can't remember the brand of this FPV system, but if you go back on my channel, RC Aviation and Crawling, I give a total detailed description of everything I'm using in this FPV system here, how much it costs and what it is. Okay, I guess that's about it. I also took an extra RV7 tail light, painted it red, and put it on the mall since she only had a fake light on the rudder before, so she got that going on. So there you go. That's it. That's the setup. And hope to see you. Well, not actually see you, but I hope that you'll drop by my channel for my next flight. Signing off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.